INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello.
Hola!
Bonjour.
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao.
Ciao!
Annyeonghaseyo.
Mabuhay!
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights. Discover new things.
Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words, come home with us.
Come home with us.
This is INCRadio Seattle, Washington. Good afternoon and good evening to all members and listeners around the world. We thank you for joining us for yet another edition of INCRadio Seattle, Washington. I'm your host for today, Brother Marlon Taduran from the local congregation of Tacoma, Washington, and we have a very exciting topic to share with all of you today. Because on today's show, we'll be talking about the topic of bodybuilding. So what are the basics of bodybuilding? And what's a good bodybuilding routine? Well, stay tuned and find out as we talk about it later on in our discussion today. Also, we will be joined later on to have an update on news and activities in our district. So if you want to know what activities we have lined up here in the District of Washington State, be sure you stay tuned for that as well. A lot of exciting activities that are going on here in the district. And we also have a hidden treasure segment that we will be showing today, showcasing yet another amazing place located here in Washington State. So many treasures that we are uncovering so that they're no longer hidden from the viewers and the listeners that are listening from all around the world. But first, before we get into all of that fun stuff that we have in our show today, we want to tell you about the several ways that all of you can tune into the program so that you don't miss any of those segments. One way to tune in is on our YouTube channel. Type in INC Radio DZEM 954. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. You can also catch the show at incradio.org. We also have our ongoing hashtag challenge. When you comment in the chat, be sure to leave a hashtag with your local congregation, and the winning congregation will be the one with the most hashtags in the chat. And it gets really intense in the chat. So sometimes there's multiple hashtags coming from sometimes the same brethren, but if you want to compete, make sure that you comment on the actual YouTube link that contains INC Radio Seattle in the title and not INC Radio live stream. So once again, if you want to compete in the hashtag challenge, it's pretty intense. Make sure that the link contains INC Radio Seattle, Washington in the title so that your hashtag will be counted. And counted they are because we have the results from last week's hashtag challenge. So without further ado, here are the winners from last week. So starting from third place, we have the local congregation of Seattle. All right. Good job, local congregation of Seattle, third place. Now, in second place, we have the local congregation of Marysville. So congratulations, local congregation of Marysville, putting up a good fight there in the hashtag challenge. And coming in at number one, the coveted first place spot, it goes to, drumroll please, the local congregation. Oh, I heard an actual drum roll that surprised me. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I think that's from Kuya Tech for that drum roll. But first place is the local congregation of Shoreline. Awesome. So congratulations, local congregation of Shoreline. I heard an applause too. This is amazing. The production value is off the charts right now, so I'm very excited. We have a very exciting show. But before that, we're going to take a short break to see some of the upcoming programs coming up on INC Radio. But before we show that video, we want to ask a question to our listeners on YouTube. And that question is, do you have any experience with bodybuilding? So we'd love to hear about your experiences. Maybe you have some tips and tricks that you'd like to share with our listeners and viewers. Leave that in the chat, and we'll be sure to read your responses during our bodybuilding discussion today. But without further ado, Tech, if you could, we'll take our first break of the show.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Let's talk about giving, what it really means, and its importance. Tune in this Sunday, January 21, 8 p.m. Central European Time, or Monday, January 22, 3 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. Only here on INCRadio, Northern Europe Satellite Studio.
Coming up, next on INCRadio Italy North Satellite Studio, a brand new episode about mindful decluttering. Come join us this Sunday, January 21 at 6 p.m. Central European Time, Monday, January 22 at 1 a.m. Philippine Time, and share your tips with us. Keep being updated. Subscribe to INCRadio DZEM 954 official YouTube channel.
All right, and welcome back to the show. Once again, this is INC Radio, Seattle, Washington, and we're about to get into our discussion. But before we do that, we want to see, we have a few greetings here on YouTube that we'd like to read off before going into our discussion. First, we have a greeting here from Brother Bon Torres. He says, "Welcome, Brother Ramil Regino." Am I pronouncing that right, Sister Kate? Okay. And family to the Washington State District Vote from the local congregation of hashtag Oak Harbor. We also have a greeting from Sister Annette Baldonado from hashtag Federal Way. Says, welcome po to District of Washington State, to our beloved District Minister of Washington State, Brother Ramil Regino, and his family po, hashtag Federal Way. We also have one more greeting here from Sister Maureen J. Flauta. Advance happy birthday to my mom, Sister Janice Flauta. Love you. Heart, heart emoji, hashtag Marysville. There's also one more here from Brother Felomar Flauta. Shout out to bodybuilders in our district, Brother Alden and Sister Ashley Gamet. Also, Brother Norman Obinyana. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, but that's coming from hashtag Marysville. So thank you so much. I believe we have the correct pronunciation for our beloved district minister. It's Brother Regino. So, Brother Regino, welcome to the District of Washington State. We're going to get into our discussion about bodybuilding. We actually have a short video that we'll be showing before we begin our discussion. So, Tech, if you could, please show us this bodybuilding video that we have. I'm excited to see it. So whenever that's ready, go ahead and play that for us, please.
Here are some essential tips to help you get started in your weightlifting and bodybuilding journey. First and foremost, never skip your warm-up. It's crucial to prepare your muscles for the intensity ahead. Spend a few minutes with dynamic stretches and light cardio like walking to help with flexibility. Focus on your form. Proper form is the key to preventing injuries and maximizing your gains. Take the time to learn and perfect your lifting technique. Start with lighter weights, ensuring each movement is controlled and precise. Set realistic goals. It's important to set realistic goals. Establish achievable short-term and long-term goals. This not only keeps you motivated, but helps you keep track of your progress. Remember, consistency is key. And don't feel bad if you have to start on a lower weight. Everyone has to start somewhere. Mix up your routine. Keep your muscles guessing by varying your routine. Incorporate different exercises and change up your rep ranges. This not only prevents boredom, but also challenges your body in new ways. Prioritize rest. Remember to have rest and recovery days. You won't lose all your muscles if you have a rest day. Rest is often underrated, but it's crucial for muscle recovery and growth. Ensure you're getting enough sleep and consider incorporating active recovery days into your weekly schedule. For example, taking a short walk. Have a good diet. Lifting weights is hard work and you need to be able to properly fuel your body. Remember to eat enough food to get those gains. Drink water before, during, and after your workout to stay energized and aid in recovery. Lastly, it's important to listen to your body. Pay attention to how your body responds to different exercises. If something doesn't feel right, don't push through pain. It's okay to modify or skip certain exercises to prevent injuries. And there you have it, some essential tips to get you started on your weightlifting or bodybuilding journey. Remember, consistency, proper form, and listening to your body are the keys to a successful fitness journey.
All right, that was a very informative video, and the voice of that video is actually joining us today. Sister Kate, one of our producers here at INC Radio, Seattle, Washington. Sister Kate, thank you so much for that video. A lot of good stuff that you were talking about there. Out of the video, what would you say is the most important tip that you gave us in that very informative
Ooh.
video?
Most important, well, first off, disclaimer, I'm not a bodybuilding expert by any means.
You
Um,
you
but I
had
did,
me fooled, sister.
I did, back when I was going to college, I did work out like with weights quite a bit. But I feel like, in my opinion, the most important one is probably like being able to take a rest day. Like, obviously, stay consistent with your routine. Like, don't take, like very long breaks or else you'll stop weightlifting. But I feel like people forget that, you can, like, muscles need rest too. If you overexert yourself, you're just gonna end up getting injured. And that in the long run will um make you have an even longer break, because you're not able to actually go and work out. So, yeah.
I super agree. It's it can be really detrimental if you just keep pushing. And for some people, maybe they do want to just keep going through. Maybe a compromise when you're trying to find that balance in bodybuilding is to maybe work out a different portion of your body than you did prior to the day before. So if you get kind of anxious taking too many breaks and you want to still have some progress, so maybe you split up your days working on different body parts. So maybe Monday's your leg day, and then Wednesday can be your arm and chest, and just splitting it up like that will. Because if you did legs every day, then you would have a very interesting walk by the end of the week. And one of the big things that you pointed out in the video was just staying consistent and motivated. And if you don't feel good because of the work that you're putting in and you're just hurting and it just feels like torture to you, that's not going to motivate you to stay consistent and keep on going. Like you said, more of those rest days are going to happen, and all the work that you put in, that hard work, it's just gonna, go away, and it's just back to square one. Uh, back in the day when I also was consistent with working out, I found something that was that motivated me was having like a workout buddy. Uh, Preferably someone that's maybe at the same level as you. So for those of you that lift weights, if you're maybe at the same level, it's just a bit more convenient. You don't have to switch the weights as often because you're both lifting the same thing. But it's not a race, right, Sister Kate? Going at your
No.
own pace. Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. I think what's also intimidating, especially if you go to the gym for the first time, is seeing so many people lift bigger weights. But they got there for a reason. It's because stayed consistent and they probably started off at a lower weight too and just kind of build it up. And I find that also going with a workout buddy, you're able to, maybe try heavier weights too because you have someone to spot you.
Yeah, that's
You know.
so important. Sometimes if you wanna, test your strength and push yourself, it's just nice to have a spotter to, support you in case something happens. I've It's happened to me and some of my friends. You're in repetition, like pushing the weight, say bench press, and your body just says nope, and that weight just comes crashing down. And it's nice to have that workout buddy to spot you and help you to get it back on the rack. Sister Kate, do you have a favorite exercise that you enjoyed doing in the
Oh
gym with
man.
weights?
I mean, I do love like a exercise. I think that's like a definitely fun thing to do. I think when I was working out a lot, I actually really like doing like chest. I
Mm,
liked working out chest.
mhm.
Because I think those are like your strongest kind of muscles. It's like the leg and then like the chest. So I don't know. I don't know why I enjoyed it. I
It's
think
like
it's because you kind of
psychological. You're pushing like that much weight
yeah.
over you, and you feel
I
empowered.
think I think that's what it is. It's like the feeling of you could do it. But yeah, I do love doing like exercises the most, I think. Because they're a lot of fun. It's fun to see how much weight you can squat. Um, what about you, brother Marlon?
I
What
would
was your
say
favorite?
also, yeah, bench press was a lot of fun. Um, Squats, that's also it looks impressive because you have all those weights and you're able to push that up with, you know, uh, your leg muscles, and that's a lot of fun. And yeah, just having your workout buddy with you, cheering you on and like you're helping out each other. It's making me want to get back into it again. And what better time than now? And that's like the most important part is just going out there and doing it. Of course, we're not going to be like world class bodybuilders from the start, but like what you said in your video, even if you have to start small, at least you're making the effort. And anything that you do that's bettering yourself is better for you and everyone else in your life because you're able to support them with those muscles that you're building and have more stamina to do fun things in life. So lots of benefits to bodybuilding. And even though Sister Kate and me may not be experts in the field, we can just both agree that there's a lot of benefits to working on your body and both psychologically and physically and for other aspects of your well-being. But that's it for our discussion on bodybuilding today. I want to see if we have some responses in our chat for maybe we have some bodybuilders that are watching today. And here we go. We have one from Sister Candice Mills. She says bodybuilding consists of good sleep, good food, and exercise. So hashtag Tacoma. Brother Patrick Malkinson, he says fried chicken is the meal bodybuilders eat with mashed potatoes. I guess, with the protein from the chicken. I don't know about the fried part and the mashed potatoes. Maybe in moderation. I don't know. But Brother Patrick, love to see your physique and see the results of the fried chicken and mashed potato diet. Uh, uh, we do have a uh, segment next week on comfort food. So maybe we could talk about fried chicken and mashed potatoes there. Sister Frendel Zaharin, Sister Denden, and I know she's into working out. Her experience, she says, yes, the hardest thing for me, Paul, is to stay consistent with the lifestyle during transition in personal and professional life. Change can be time and energy consuming. Hashtag Kent. So, wow, a lot of great stuff there. And okay, let's go ahead and move on to our next segment, CFO in action. So this is the portion where we talk about activities that are going on in the district. So some of our past activities that we've had on January 14th, we had the district CWS teachers and chairpersons meeting in Seattle. On also on January the 14th, we had the Propagation Symposium live in Bremerton, and that was joined by many other brethren around the district via online, and that was a success. We also have on January 21st, we have, oh, this is an upcoming activity. uh, this is the district Binhi pottery making, and that will be in the local congregation of Seattle. So that's tomorrow here in Washington State, pottery making for the Binhi in Seattle. On January 28th, we have the CBI Math, Literary, and Music Competition. That'll be taking place at the Tacoma Chapel at 5 p.m. And we also have on February 2nd, the Kadiwa Formal. That will be at 7 p.m. and registration is open to join. So don't miss out Kadiwas. Other announcements we have every Monday and Fridays, we have District Evangelical Missions at 7:30 p.m. So invite our friends and loved ones to those evangelical missions. All right, with that said, we have our final portion for tonight, our Hidden Treasure segment. So Tech, if you could, please play that short video and we'll be back after this.
Hi everyone, I'm Sister December Saldana from the local congregation of Bremerton here in the beautiful district of Washington State. Today we are traveling west of Seattle across the Puget Sound to visit the small city of Poulsbo, wherein we can see the iconic Little Norway. Filled with quaint antique stores, charming restaurants, cafes, and shops, this place is truly a mini European tour without the huge price tag. So if you're looking to have a relaxing walk down the Scandinavian themed street with elements of the Pacific Northwest, then look no further than Poulsbo, Washington. Thank you for tuning in to INCRadio of Seattle. I'll see ya later.
Wow, what a beautiful place. Thank you, Sister December, for sharing that hidden treasure with all of us here at INCRadio, Seattle, Washington, and to all our listeners and viewers around the world. So we have come to the time where it is close to the end of our program for today. It was so much fun. Thank you for joining us on our program. But before we go, we have a cliffhanger statement. Uh, we kind of mentioned it before in our bodybuilding segment, but here's what we leave for you so that we can have you come back for more. And that is after talking about all of that bodybuilding and building your strength and having healthy practices, we want to ask you, what is your go-to comfort food? So join us next week for a special live in-person broadcast as we chat about our favorite comfort foods. Yes, it will be live and in person. So don't miss out. It's going to be a very special show. And who doesn't love food? It's going to be so much fun. So make sure you join us next week for our program. But with that said, we just want to give a special thank you to our brother Eduardo Manalo, our executive minister, brother Angelo Manalo, our SEPSI president and CFO coordinator, brother Arnel Solano, our station manager, brother Ramil Rahino, yes, our new district minister here in the state of Washington State, brother Relly Rivera, our assistant district minister, brother Chris Valdez, our CFO overseer, brother Manly Andaya, our executive producer, the listeners, and the INC Radio Tech crew. Thank you so much. The show would not be made possible without all of you. And with that said, from INC Radio Seattle, we will see you later.